Having served in the Oklahoma legislature, I've heard things on the floor of the House and the state Senate that probably more outrageous than I've heard perhaps anywhere. But I will tell you this, I wouldn't say that I experienced what my grandparents experienced. I mean, the access to education, the ability for education to be really my opportunity to a better life doesn't erase racism. It doesn't mean you can't and not going to get pulled over and stopped by a police officer and asked, what are you doing in this neighborhood? And I've had those experiences happen. But I will say this, the opportunity to have experiences and exposure to actually graduate from a university and having had the chance to study abroad has given me educational opportunities that have allowed me to have the kind of experiences in life that my grandparents and my parents just simply didn't have. I had a chance to live, though I was young, and connect with a lot of individuals who survived the race riots there in Tulsa, and had a chance to really understand the kind of resilience they had to build the community back and continue on with giving to that next generation maybe the dreams they didn't have. I worked campaigns and political campaigns from the time I was 8 years old, and just always believed that, public service is the price, you pay for the space that you occupy. You find some way to serve. I mean, growing up in the church, my grandmother, she said to me once, she said 100 times, to whom much is given, much is expected. And we expect a lot out of you. Definitely my upbringing and even my collegiate experiences have led to me believing that this was what I was equipped to do to try to make my world, my community, a better place. Really and truly, building a better campus climate is first, and diversity happens when you have a better climate. I work every day with deans and directors. I work with my fellow members in the cabinet, executive officers, to make sure that whatever we do, we think of it from the mindset of how have we given the opportunities for more inclusive behavior in our whatever we do, hiring, in our academic process, in our thought process. What are we doing from that perspective? And then as well, what do we look like as a university in terms of diversity? What we have to do a better job is helping people understand how to build relationships with people who are different from them, and that it's okay. And even in a college environment, you would think that was an easier job, but we still have a lot of individuals who carry biases that they don't even know they have, and some who think they're quite culturally competent that carry biases. We have to be more authentic and be able to own where we are. It's okay. We've got to do some perspective changing with individuals. And I think higher ed is unique for it because in many cases it's the last stop that you receive before you go into communities where people look like you and they go to the same church and they go to the same grocery store. And how do you get to the point to where you grow yourself? You have to do your work. And that's what we do with students every day is you find where you fit in this conversation of being a change agent. But wherever you're planted, you've got to be the change. You've got to be the individuals that are the leaders that step up and make environments more of a community. You just can't exist in this world today and be successful and not be culturally competent, not be relatable, not be at least able to work with individuals that might come from all different walks and experiences. There's so much more you can do when you push yourselves to come, when we push ourselves to come out of our comfort zones and really get to understand what it means to know and embrace people who are different. I think our challenges at the University of Oklahoma have been more about creating the kind of environment that allows individuals to thrive who may look like me, who may have a disability, who may have a different sexual orientation, and those things have to be worked on daily. It's a perpetual thing that never really stops. And so what is our greatest challenge? Not being so quick to pat ourselves on the backs when we have significant strides. We still have a lot of work to do to build trust with students and faculty and staff who are skeptical, because we've talked about the University of Oklahoma. We've had our high points and we've had our low points. And so my greatest challenge every day is to try to be as transparent as possible, that our work is very intentional, and that this office and the work of the president is not just a reaction, but the way we do business at the University of Oklahoma. And so it takes time to get people there. And at the University of Oklahoma, I mean, I don't think we ever find ourselves healed, but we are always in the mode of understanding that we're going to do our work to be a better place.